Alright, so now in this section 4-2 we're looking at the triangle sum theorem. And so here's what it says. The triangle sum theorem says all three angles inside a triangle add up to 180. So if you add up all three of the angles on the inside of a triangle, they're going to add up to 180 degrees. There's another theorem that kind of goes along with this. It says if the angles are the same, then the sides across from those angles are the same. Okay, so let's illustrate each one of these two theorems. So if I've got a triangle here and the first number is 66 and the second number is 60, and if I didn't know what this angle was, then I could do 180 minus 66 minus 60 and see that this angle is 54. So all three on the inside will add up to a 180. Alright? Now the other theorem is that if the angles are the same, then the sides across from those angles are the same. So if I have a triangle whose angles are 50, 50, and 80, and it does add up to 180 by the way, and notice the congruent markings here and here, and I gave the angle measure as well. Alright, so we wouldn't have to do that if we had the angle markers indicating that they were the same. Alright, so here's what the second theorem says. It says if the angles are the same, then the sides across from those angles are the same. So the side across from that angle is the side that the angle actually opens up to. If it's not a side of the angle, alright, then it's going to be the side across from the angle. So that pretty much narrows it down. So let's say this is 5. Alright, then by this theorem, the other side, whose angle is also 50, it can be also 5. So if the angles here are the same, then the sides opposite from those angles are the same. Okay? Alright. Another way to illustrate that theorem as well would be here. If I have an isosceles triangle while these two are the same, then again, if you are looking at a triangle like this, then here are my two sides that are congruent. Then what we're saying here is that the angles across from these sides, so the angles across from these sides are congruent, meaning this one, okay, and this one. So one thing that we have to be able to do going into this unit is to be able to identify the angle that's across from the side or the side that's across from the angle. Alright, so if we can figure those things out, that'll help us out tremendously. Alright, so let's actually go and work something out here. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got two triangles. They're connected by a common point here. This is angle 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and so we've got 75 here, 28 here. We've got angles 1, 2, and 3, of course, is here. And we've got 62 degrees on this side. Alright, so what is our task here? Our task is to find the measure of angle 1, find the measure of angle 2, find the measure of angle 3. Okay? And so those are the things that we're going to be trying to find here. And the question is, how do we do it? Well, angle 1 shouldn't be too bad to get, because remember, all three on the inside of a triangle add up to 180. So if I do 180 minus 75, right, that'll leave you at 85, right? And so from here, if I'm just kind of looking at these two, and I wanted to find the measure of angle 1, I can just do 180 minus 75 minus 28, and then I'll get 77 here. Alright? Because all three of the angles on the inside of the triangle add up to 180. Okay, now, here's the deal. If I wanted to get angle 2, angle 1 and angle 2 have to be the same. Why? Because vertical angles are congruent. We learned that a while back. So if angle 1 is 77, angle 2 is also got to be 77. Alright? Or did I say that wrong? Yeah, I said it right, but I wrote it wrong. So if angle 1 is 77, then angle 2 also has to be 77. Alright, so now I've got 77, 62. I'm trying to find angle 3. I just need to go take these two numbers and subtract them off from 180. So if I do 180 minus 62 minus 77, I'll have the measure of angle 3, which is going to be 41. Alright, so there you go. Take a look at what other type of problems we've got here. Okay, so on this one now, instead of giving us regular numbers, they give it to us in terms of x, and we're asked to find the measure of angle B and the measure of angle C. Alright, so remember, all three of these, by the first theorem that we looked at, should add up to what? Okay, they should add up to 180. So as a matter of fact, that's the equation that I'm going to create. It's going to be 3x plus 2x minus 5 plus 65. Now remember, each one of these angles, 3x, 2x minus 5, and then plus 65, okay, they all have to add up according to the theorem to 180 degrees. Alright, so when we are adding up all of the triangles, the angles on the inside of the triangles, it should add up to 180 degrees. And so in this case, I can go ahead and solve this now for x, and then I will have something to plug into angle B and angle C so I can answer the question. Alright, so let's go ahead and solve this. So 3x plus 2x, we can make that 5x, and 65 minus 5 is plus 60. Equals to 180. Alright, so now I can move the 60 over to the other side and get 5x is equal to 180 minus 60. And I've got 5x is equal to, when I subtract this off, will be 120. And then now the only thing left is to divide. And I will get x equals 24. Okay, now here's the deal on this problem. The answer is not 24 because nowhere did it ask me to find x. However, it did ask me to find angle B, and so to find angle B, I just need to take 24 and plug it in here. So what's 3 times 24? And so that'll give me 72. Alright, and for angle C, I got to go 2 times 24, which is 48. Minus 5 is 43. Okay. So if you want to see how to come up with the different angle measures, add these up to 180 and then solve that equation. You can plug in the things that they're asking you to find. Okay, a few more examples here. Again, we're asked to find the measure of angle A and the measure of angle C. Measure of angle A and the measure of angle C. Alright, so when we're looking at this now, we've got 90 here, we've got 5x here, so just like in the last one, I should be attempting to try to come up with the correct equation. And so now as I look at this, I've got 90 plus 5x, but I don't have anything here. But I do know what it is. Alright, so remember, see these marks right here? These marks indicate that these two sides are the same, which means we've got ourselves an isosceles triangle here. But remember what the theorem said. If the sides are the same, then the angles across from those sides would be the same. So if this is 5x, then this one up here also has to be 5x. And then so what does my equation become then? 5x plus 5x plus 90 equals 180. Because remember, all three angles on the inside of a triangle add up to 180. Now we'll go ahead and solve for the x. 5 plus 5 makes 10x there. This will be 180 minus 90, which is going to be 10x is equal to 90 divided by 10. And so when we go through now and finish this up, we'll have x is equal to 9. Alright. However, not the answer, because I'm looking for the measure of angle A and the measure of angle C. So if I put in a 9 here, 9 times 5, that'll be 45. And if angle A is 45, then angle C also has to be 45. All right. And so once again, add up all of the angles on the inside of the triangle to 180, solve it for x, and then just go back and plug into the parts that they're asking you for, and then you'll come up with it. All right. Maybe one more to look at here. Okay, so on one like this, again, I'm trying to find the measures of A, B, and C, all three of the angles. Well, in order to get that, I need to solve for the value of x. And so again, I'm ready to plug in my equation. Remember, all three of these should add up to how much? All right, it should add up to 180. So here comes my equation. It's going to be 7x plus x plus 5 plus 5x plus 6, and all of this is now going to be adding up to 0. And so I can combine some like terms here on the first page. 7 plus 5 is 12, plus another x is going to be 13, and so that'll be 13x. So we've got this accounted for. Okay, and so 13x now is going to be plus 11 behind it, because 5 times 6. And still got 180 over here. We're ready for the 11 to move to the other side. 13x is equal to 180 minus 11. Okay. And so to finish it off, I'm going to have 13x is equal to 169. And we're going to divide it by 13. And so my x is actually equal to 13. Okay. So we're not finished yet though on this one, and the reason why is because it didn't ask me to find x. It asked me to find these angles. But I do need the value of x in order to get the angle. So like right now for angle A, I'm just going to take a 13 right here and add 5 to it and make it 18. So there you go. Let's see, what else we got? On the angle B, again, I need to put a 13 right in here, and 7 times 13. Okay, so 7 times 13. Alright, so if you do 7 times 13 in the calculator, that'd be 91. Okay, and so the next one is going to be, let's see. Next one is going to be one where we can now take 13 and do 13 times 5 and then add 6 to it. So 13 times 5 is going to be 65, and then plus 6 will take it up to 71. And then now we have found all of the angles on the inside of this triangle. If you want to verify that you've done it correctly, then all three of these should add up to what? Yeah, should add up to 180. If they do, you know you got the right numbers here. Or at least you have a pretty good shot of having the right numbers there. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. Then your quiz will be waiting for you, and so I'll see you next time in class.